Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm continuing with my Destiny's Child and Beyonce discography journey where I'm listening to all their albums for the first time, and we have made it to Destiny's Child's second studio album from 1999 called The Writings on the Wall. Now this is the last album with the group's original lineup, which comprised of Beyonce and Kelly and Latavia and Latoya. In December of 1999, both Latavia and Latoya attempted to split with their manager, claiming that he kept a disproportionate share of the group's profits and unfairly favored Beyonce and Kelly. They were later replaced by Michelle Williams, a former backup singer to Monica, and also Farrah Franklin, an aspiring singer and actress. However, there was still more misfortune that would plague the group because 5 months after joining, Farrah Franklin actually left the group. The remaining members claimed that this was due to Farrah missing promotional appearances and concerts, but according to Michelle Williams, Farrah could not handle the stress. However, Farrah Franklin disclosed that she left because of the negativity surrounding the strife and her inability to assert any control in the decision-making. Farrah's departure was seen as less controversial. Michelle Williams, on the other hand, disclosed that her inclusion in the group resulted in her battling insecurity. She said, "I was comparing myself to the other members, and the pressure was on me." So everything wasn't sunshine and daisies in the world of Destiny's Child back then. And then in March of 2000, both Latavia and Latoya filed a lawsuit against Matthew Knowles and the other members of Destiny's Child. But then, from my understanding, this lawsuit was eventually dropped in exchange for a settlement. And I haven't even started talking about the album yet. I haven't even started listening to the album yet. The Writings on the Wall did earn 6 Grammy Award nominations, and eventually the album went on to sell 13 million copies worldwide. The Writings on the Wall is regarded as one of the best albums from the 90s. It's also regarded as one of the best R&B albums, and it's also regarded as one of the best albums of all time, according to multiple publications. Now, there are 17 tracks on the album for a total of 1 hour and 10 minutes, and I don't recall hearing any of these songs before, but like always, if I start listening to a song that sounds familiar, I'll let you guys know. Actually, I just glanced at the track list, and yes, of course, I have heard Say My Name, track 12. That is the only track I recall hearing. Say my name, say my name. Anyway, let's get into it with track 1, Intro, The Writings on the Wall.
I want to thank you for having me organized. I also want to thank you and all the other dons of the 4 families is to discuss Destiny's Child's commandments of relationships. Yes, Godfather, times have changed. Relationships aren't like the old days. Backstabbing, hating, no more. It's obvious. The writing's on the wall.
Oh.
Thou shalt not hate.
Oh my.
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I'm doing mighty fine. Last time I think it's been a long time. Always put me down when you thought that you could. I want you to know that I'm doing so good. It wasn't any you that said that I didn't look too good, that I wouldn't do too good. So good. I know you hate it, but so good, so good. This is for them haters that said we wouldn't make it. Now we're doing platinum and now you can't take it. Didn't get caught up in how to make you feel. I thought I was all that in you. Said I didn't have a clue. I want you to know that I'm doing so good. So good, so good, so good. But so good, so good, so good. I'm doing so good, 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 good. Doing so good, 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 good. I am so good. So good, so good, so good.
That was tracks 1 and 2, Intro, The Writings on the Wall, and then that progressed into track 2, So Good. Now, Intro, The Writings on the Wall, was some sort of, Godfather impersonation, I guess. It's essentially a monologue by, I guess, Latavia or Latoya. I think it's Latavia. And each of the girls have their own mafia, The Godfather last name, like Latoya, Barzini, and Kelly Starocki and Beyonce, Corleone and Latavia Manser from the 4-4. Our objective of this meme today is to discuss Destiny's Child commandments of relationships. Yes, Godfather, times have changed. Relationships aren't like the old days, you know. See, what we need is a man of this world. All this, cheating, backstabbing, hating, no more, no more. But Godfather, how do we avoid all these mishaps? It's obvious. The writing's on the wall, thou shalt not hate. I mean, I guess it was cute, I suppose, but it's definitely not a track I would want to listen to again. It was definitely a very interesting way to open this album. I wasn't expecting that at all. And then track 2, So Good, was a nice R&B track. It's kind of a precursor to their upcoming song, Independent Woman Part 1, from their next album, Survivor. It is an empowerment song where the girls are saying, I'm doing good, I'm so good, and screw the haters. This is for them haters that said we wouldn't make it. Now we do in platinum, and now you can't take it. For all the people around us that have been negative, look at us now and see how we live. I know you do not like me, and you made it very clear. You're always talking about me from what I hear. Always put me down when you thought that you could. I want you to know that I'm doing so good. So I like the message of the song. It's a tale as old as time when it comes to pop music. A pop artist putting down their haters and celebrating their success and shoving their success in people's faces, the people who didn't think they would make it, the naysayers and what have you. I thought this was a solid R&B track and I liked it. I would listen to it again. Anyway, let's move on to track 3, Bills, Bills, Bills.
First we started out a crew, taking me places I ain't never been. And now you ask to use my car. You ask to hold some money from me until you get your check and quit. Why haven't I found another a baller? When times get hard, need someone to help me out. Pay my bills, keep paying my telephone bills, keep paying my automobiles. I don't think you do, so you. Going shopping sprees, perpetrating to your friends that you be falling. Calling whoever that you think at home. And then, good for nothing type of brother. Still leave me. Why haven't I found another? Pay the bills, keep paying the telephone bills, keep paying my automobiles. I don't think, oh no, no, no. Why haven't I found another? Trifling, good for nothing type of brother. Silly me, why haven't I found another? They pay my automobiles. I don't think you do. They pay my automobiles. So you, I don't think you do. So you,
That was track 3, Bills, Bills, Bills. Rawr. Whoa. This was... Okay, so this song is vaguely familiar, especially the chorus, so I probably have heard it before, but it's been a very long time. This was a great song. Such an empowerment song. I mean, this album so far is just empowerment and it just reeks of confidence. And I mean, look at the album cover. Look at how they're posing. Look at how they're looking at you. Dear God. You're slowly making me pay for things your money should be handling, and now you ask to use my car, drive it all day, and don't fill up the tank. And you have the audacity to even come and step to me, ask to hold some money from me until you get your check next week. A baller when times get hard, I need someone to help me out instead of a scrub like you who don't know what a man's about. Can you pay my bills? Can you pay my telephone bills? Do you pay my automobiles? I love that. If you did, then maybe we could chill. I don't think you do, so you and me are through. Going on shopping sprees, perpetuating to your friends like you be ballin', and then you use my cell phone. This guy is a bottom feeder, he is a lowlife. He's just nasty. He's a nasty boy with nasty issues. I ain't paying your bills. You bought that fancy, brand new, shiny MacBook Pro last week on credit, and you threw in some AirPod Pros, an iPad. You order from Uber Eats every day, and yet you come to me asking for money to pay for your bills, your rent, your cell phone bill, your car payments. No. Now, it's no surprise that this was released as the lead single from the album. It did chart in many places around the world, and it reached #1 on the US Billboard Hot 100. Now, this song was reminding me of No Scrubs from TLC, which I think was released before Bills, Bills, Bills. Both songs are quite similar lyrically. They're telling you the same story of this person, this bottom feeder. I thought this was a wonderful song, and I had fun, and I would definitely listen to it again. So let's move on to track 4, Confessions, featuring Missy Elliott. That was track 4, Confessions, featuring Missy Elliott, and I need to adjust my picture in the background. It's bugging me. It's kind of, it really is. I kind of have OCD just a little bit, and it's kind of out of place. I need to adjust it a little bit. There we go. It has to line up perfectly. There we go. This was another great R&B track. And it looks like we are continuing the story of this unfortunate relationship. It's kind of an unhealthy relationship right now. And it looks like this guy did something that pissed her off. And I told Mike to pick me up. And then she went over to his place and she needed someone to talk to. She needed a friend. So they hung out and they were intimate, and I guess they had sex, what have you. And now she's confessing about the things I did. I might as well come clean. What you feel about that, baby? I'm just guessing. Are you through with me? Because I just came clean. What you feel about that? Remember the time you wondered where your money went? I called my friends and bought some clothes and took them on a trip. I met a dude that had a Jeep, and we talked all the time. He asked me about my man, and you know that I had to lie. I never had it in mind to play on you. Look at all the hurt you put me through. You know I'm just confessing. So because he hurt her so bad, emotionally, verbally, physically, what have you, she had to run off, and she did all these things behind his back. She cheated on him, and she spent his money. It doesn't seem like she regrets it, though. Just from reading the lyrics and hearing their vocals, it doesn't seem like she feels bad about what she did. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she genuinely feels bad for doing what she did behind his back. But at the same time, she felt like she had to do it because of the way he treated her. So it was his fault, because if he never did the things he did to her, she wouldn't have gone behind his back and did these things. I liked listening to the song for the first time. And of course, the track featured Missy Elliott, which is nice. I also think Missy Elliott is a producer on this album as well. I don't think I would listen to this song again. For me, it doesn't really warrant a lot of replays, but I imagine there are a lot of you who would listen to the song again. For me personally, though, I probably wouldn't. I did find it a bit long. It's almost 5 minutes. It kind of dragged on towards the middle. But anyway, let's move on to track 5, Bugaboo, the H-Town Screwed Mix.
You make me wanna throw my picture out the window. Never get to see I to cut the phone call. 'Cause you a bugaboo. You bugging what you bugging. It's not hot, but you be calling and stressing and paging my baby. You're just non-stop. It's 20 minutes after I gave you my number. You already have my mailbox full. And so what? My mama likes you. Like you. Now what you think I will too? You make me wanna throw my picture out the window. 'Cause you a bugaboo. You bugging what you bugging. Who you bugging me? Don't you see it ain't cool? You need to chill out with that mess. 'Cause you can't keep having me stressed. Not to come as much as you do. I give them back to me, do it with you. I don't give a damn 'cause you're a bugaboo. You make me wanna throw my picture out the window. Can't make me feel make me feel stuck 'cause you a bugaboo. You bugging what you bugging. Who you bugging me? Don't you see it ain't cool? You bugging me. You show up at my door, you bugging me. When you open up your mouth, you bugging me. You a bugaboo. A bugaboo. A bugaboo. I wanna put your number on the call. Trusting me, I'll do what you do. Oh yeah.
That was track 5, a Bugaboo, and I thought the overall production on this track was fire. I liked moving my body to it. I was kind of dancing. It has that catchy chorus and melody, and this is a good continuation of the prior tracks I listened to. This guy is bugging her. He's a bugaboo. Tell MCI to cut the phone calls. Break my lease so I can move. 'Cause you a bugaboo, a bugaboo. I want to put your number on the call block. Have AOL make my email stop. You bugging what? You bugging who? You bugging me? And don't you see it ain't cool? When I first met you, you were cool, but it was a game. You had me fooled. 'Cause 20 minutes after I gave you my number, you already had my mailbox full. So what? You bought a pair of shoes. What? Now I guess you think I owe you. You don't have to call as much as you do. I also like this part here. And so what? My mama likes you. What now? I guess you think I will too. Even if the Pope said he liked you too, I don't really care. 'Cause you're a bugaboo. I thought this was a fun track, and I would listen to it again. I probably wouldn't listen to it all the time. And I will be honest, I can't really relate to a lot of these songs, I will say. So I mean, I typically wouldn't listen to all these songs again on repeat, but I could still appreciate the overall theme. I could appreciate what they're singing about, the empowerment of these songs. Obviously, I'm not the target demographic for an album like this, let's be real. So, obviously, there are thousands, if not millions, of people who loved this album and listened to it all the time. And I can appreciate the album for what it is. Now, this was selected as the second single from the album. This song didn't fare as well as Bills, Bills, Bills did on the charts. Following a huge success of Bills, 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 Bugaboo was a disappointment in its sales and airplay. But anyway, let's move on to track 6, Temptation. That was track 6, Temptation, and I liked the song. I thought it was quite catchy. I like the chorus. It's a steamy, hot track saying, "Sexy boy, you so fly. I wish I could give you a try. But my man's at home, waiting for me by the phone. Sorry, can't get my groove on. I know you see me watching you, and I see you watching me, cause boy, your body's calling me." So it looks like she doesn't want to give in to this temptation. Or maybe she does, but she can't because she has a man at home. And she doesn't want to break that trust, I guess. Temptations call it Poppy wanting you so bad I could cry. That's so relatable. Yes, daddy. I like the vibe of this track. I like the harmonies from the girls, and I like their vocals too. I am enjoying their vocals on this album. I do feel like the other girls are given more time in the spotlight on this album than they were on their prior album, their debut album, Destiny's Child. I don't feel like it's completely the Beyonce show on this album. It's nice that the other girls are getting more inclusion when it comes to the singing. Anyway, let's move on to track 7, Now That She's Gone. That was track 7, Now That She's Gone, and initially, the first couple minutes or so, I thought this track was a little lackluster and boring. I couldn't really get into it. I didn't find it very memorable, but then towards the end, it started to grow on me, and by officially the end of the song, I grew to like it, and I didn't mind it. And you know what? I would actually listen to this track again. It's definitely a grower. It's definitely a track where you have to stay with it until the end to really appreciate the whole track, at least for me. Now That She's Gone, You Want to Come Back is that fact. You've got it like that. You made me wait too long. I'm gone. Take her to the movies, dinner all the time, shopping sprees for her. On me, you never spent a dime, but I was there for you when you had nothing at all. Then you got a little job, and she's the one you call, and now that she's gone, you want to come back. So it's pretty straightforward lyrically, and it's a great R&B track. But let's move on to track 8, Where'd You Go?
Oh baby, where'd you go? I need you back with me. Oh baby, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? It has been 5 days. You haven't called me. Do you still want me? Crying constantly. Running out the reasons. Gotta get you back to me. Where'd you go? I don't know. Come back to me. I know I can't live my life. Thinking of everything that you told me. Said you'll never leave me. Can't deal with all the pain and how you put me through. Oh, baby, tell me why. Why did you hurt me? Hurt me.
That was track 8, Where'd You Go? And I I wasn't the biggest fan of this track. It's probably one of my least favorite tracks on the album thus far, and I didn't find anything interesting about it. It was a bit of a slog to get through, and compared to all the other tracks, this one just doesn't really live up to all the other songs I listened to. It's kind of basic and ordinary, and it's not very memorable. I also didn't really care for the lyrics. It does fit in with the overall story of the album, but they're singing about, so baby, please come back to me. It has been 5 days. You haven't called me. Do you still want me? Still need me? I am on your mind. Are you thinking of me? Are you missing me like I miss you? Crying constantly, running out of reasons why I haven't heard from you. I mean, the lyrics on this track are pretty basic. She's heartbroken, she's sad, she wants to be with this guy, he hasn't called in 5 days. Why did you hurt me, where'd you go, I don't know. I know that I need you in this heart of mine, so baby, please come back to me. So it fits in with all the other tracks, but I didn't really care for it. But anyway, let's move on to track 9, Hey Ladies.
Of it all is that he get money. Should have just let him go. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, he did it wrong. He's got to go. He's got to go. Hey, ladies, why is it that big go do what's wrong? He's got to go. He's got to go. Hey, ladies, why is it that big go do what's wrong? Stop letting playing yourself over again, 'cause it's killing me. Yeah, he did it wrong. So he's got to go. Hey, ladies, why is it big go do what's wrong? He's got to go. He's got to go. Hey, ladies, why is it big go do what's wrong? He's got to go. He's got to go. I just don't understand. You get chance after chance. Got to go. See what just happened crazily.
That was track 9, Hey Ladies, and this is another empowerment anthem. And I enjoyed it. I think it's quite catchy. I think it's one of the more catchier songs on the album, and I like the lyrics. I like what it stands for. Why is it that men can do, or I should say, why is it that men can go do us wrong? Why is it that we just decide to keep holding on? Why is it that we never seem to just have the strength to leave? But he's got to go, he's got to go, he's got to go. Thou shalt move on to the next. This is a very strong, cohesive album thus far. We are 9 tracks in, and all of these tracks flow beautifully from one to the next. I like the story, and I like the message of this album. I like what it means to so many people out there, this relationship, this heartache, the cheating, the bitterness, the love, the back and forth, the questioning. I definitely feel like this could have been one of the singles from the album. Anyway, let's move on to track 10, If You Leave, featuring Next. That was track 10, If You Leave Me, and this was a nice, I guess it was a nice duet between Next. I don't know who Next is. I've never heard of him before. Next is an American R&B musical trio, popular during the late 1990s and early 2000s. Oh, okay. When he told me he's never seen a chick before, he wouldn't give me no explanation, cause he knows when I pack my bags, it ain't for no vacation, so I'm gonna do my thing. I'm leaving his ass alone. I'm gone. Oh, I'm moving on my way. He's history, too late. The game is over. He'll see. A girl's gotta do what she's gotta do. I like Beyonce singing on this track. I think it's quite strong. I like the vocals from everyone, and I like the chorus. I guess my only gripe is I feel like they keep repeating the chorus over and over and over again a bit too much. It kind of keeps going on and on and on. Especially towards the end, I found my mind was kind of drifted. But overall, I thought this was a great R&B track, and I would listen to it again. Anyway, let's move on to track 11, Jumpin', Jumpin'.
Ladies, leave your man at home. The club is full of
Oh, yeah.
Party ain't gon' stop, so let's make it hot, hot. Last weekend you stayed at home alone and lonely. Hair done and your nails done too. Out waiting, been in the shoes. Fellas rolling in the left, strikes and hummers. So we say you got a girl, yes, true, you got a man. Ladies, leave your man at home. The club is full of ballers and they pockets full grown. 'Cause it's 11:30 and the club is jumping, jumping. Call your boys 'cause tonight you're not gon' stay at home. She tell your girl she ain't come tonight, you going forward. Like a star, you're on mine, it's you. You need to lift the waist 'cause you're turning heads tonight, you're gonna party ain't gon' stop, so let's make it hot, hot. Ladies, leave your man at home. It's so funny, it's jumping, jumping. Sexy women do their things, bounce to bounce to bounce to shake it, 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 twist it, twist it, twist it, twist it. Bounce down the cloud, we can get loud, loud. Ladies, leave your man at home. The club is full of ballers and they pockets full of grown. 'Cause it's 11:30 and the club is jumping, jumping. Ladies, leave your man at home.
Ain't worried about my girl, alright?
All you ladies, leave your man at home. The club is full of ballers and they pockets full of grown. 'Cause it's 11:30 and the club is jumping, jumping.
That was track 11, Jumpin', Jumpin'. Yes, I've heard this song before. It was all coming back to me. And, I mean, I don't need to tell you. This is obviously a great Destiny's Child song. It's a great pop song, and this song must have been everywhere in the clubs back in the day. I wouldn't know because I was maybe 9 or 10 years old when the song came out. And I had a great time. That infectious chorus, it just gets stuck in your head and it hooks you in and never lets go. The repetition, and it's great. Now, this was released as the 4th and final single from the album. This song did pretty well worldwide on the charts. It reached number 3 on the US Billboard Hot 100, so they almost snagged that number 1 spot with the song. Honestly, I feel like this song should have went number 1. It's a great pop song, and it's fun to dance to, and it's one of the more feel-good songs, whereas a lot of the other songs are about this toxic relationship, the back and forth, the breakup, the cheating. This one is more playful and fun to listen to. Should tell your girl she ain't coming tonight. You're going solo. Cut her off because she talks some noise, you know you. Got the right to get your party on, so get your hair cut and your car washed. 2, looking like a star in your Armani suit. You need to look your best because you're turning heads tonight. You're gonna find a sexy chica that's gonna dance all night if you wanna. So let's make it hot, hot. Come on, all you ladies, leave your man at home. The club is full of ballers and a pocket's full grown. And all you fellas, leave your girl with her friends because it's 11:30 and your club is jumpin', jumpin'. Anyway, let's move on to track 12, Say My Name.
Say my name, say my name. No one is around you. Say, baby, I love you. You acting kinda shady. Ain't calling me baby. Just say my name. The other day, I would call, you would say. If you took it there, first of all, let me say. I know you say that I was doing things. Something's going down, that's the way it seems. Shouldn't be the reason why you acting strange. Girl, didn't tell me who. Say my name, say my name. No one is around you. Why you searching? Say my name, say my
was track 12, Say My Name. I mean, what's there to say about this track? It is definitely one of their biggest hits ever. I think this might be the biggest hits from this album and their entire career. This was selected as the third single from the album, and I'm curious to know if it went number one. It did, their second number one. So they had two number one hit singles from this album. Say My Name is the most successful song from the album. It won 2 Grammy Awards at the 2001 ceremony. Lyrically, Say My Name has a female protagonist telephoning her lover and suspecting him of cheating. She asks him to say her name. The young man hesitates, and the narrator believes it is because he does not want the girl he's cheating with to know who she is. Now, the release of Say My Name is a little awkward because while the song features the vocals of the group's original lineup consisting of Latavia and Latoya, the music video for the single marked the introduction of the group's second lineup with the newly added members Michelle Williams and Farrah Franklin, whom they were replaced with. Definitely a great time. It's catchy as hell, and I like the lyrics, I like the story. And it's a great pop song, but I don't need to tell you that. Anyway, let's move on to track 13, She Can't Love You.
I saw your new girlfriend the other day. She moved the things she said, the way she looked at me like I got your man. Our love for love just can't compare to what I have. And there's no way her love as good as mine. There's no reason for you to waste your time. We were together, you told me what you did. Said that your new girl is nothing compared to me. Boy, you a fool, you can't realize what you had. And there's no way her love's as good as mine. Ooh, no, 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 no. There's no way, there's no way that our love could be as good. There's no reason for you to even go and waste your time. There's no reason for you to waste your time. If thou can wait, then thou shalt stay.
That was track 13, She Can't Love You, and I like the vibe of this track. I like the acoustic guitar, and it was pleasant to listen to. I did think it was a little boring, I won't lie. I saw your new girlfriend the other day, and I expected for her to be so much more than she was. I checked out her style, the way she smiled, the way she moved, the things she said, the way she looked at me like, I got yo man. She can't love you like I can. All of her love just can't compare to what I have. She can't touch you like I do. I like the lyrics of this track, and I will say, I think the songwriting on this album is quite strong. It's very cohesive. So I like that aspect, but overall, I did still think this song was a little boring to listen to. I didn't find it just doesn't really have that hook. But anyway, let's move on to track 14, Stay.
So much to leave me down. Is that what keeps you hanging
That was track 14, Stay, a power ballad from Destiny's Child, and the highlight of the song for me was Beyonce's vocals. I like the harmonies too. I didn't really care for the lyrics. I thought the lyrics were just, even though the lyrics are beautiful, they're sentimental, they're just too ooey gooey and generic sounding. Lyrically, this is probably one of my least favorite tracks on the album. Baby, I want for nothing, just your tender, sweet loving. I know you've got your things to do, but tell me what means more to you, hanging out with me or with your boy. Sometimes I do get lonely, but know you and no one to hold me. Baby, please stay. If I granted all of your wishes, give you more than touches and kisses, would you stay, stay? I need you to stay. I'll be yours forever. It is quite overly sentimental and, I don't know, it just didn't really do anything for me. But let's move on to track 15, Sweet 16.
Couldn't tell Jackie nothing. She was searching for the love she missed, yeah. Slow down. You're moving way too fast. Do you know where you're running to? Do you know? She didn't stop to think if he was serious. Wait, see, yeah. You're moving way too fast. Sweet 16, sweet 16, you know. 16 years, 16 prayers for 16 reasons why I care. I know you're feeling lonely. I know you're feeling lonely. Who you gonna turn to? Sweet 16, you need to cherish what you have. You can forget about the past. You're moving way too fast. You're only 16. Where you running to? Sweet 16, girl, I know it gets hard, so take it slow. Sweet 16, at 16, you're moving way too fast. Where you going to? Sweet 16,
This is for you, Miss Ann, who's now with our Heavenly Father who made the real commandments.
That was track 15, Sweet 16, and this was another great track. I like the vibe, I like the instrumental, the guitar, and I like the message of the lyrics, the words of wisdom from Destiny's Child to 16-year-old girls. You couldn't tell little Jackie nothing. 16 thought she knew it all. She was searching for the love she missed, and so she ran away. Slow down, you're moving way too fast. 16, there's so much for you ahead. They're essentially saying in the song, don't move too fast, don't fall in love too fast. You're only 16, you have your whole life ahead of you. Don't run away, make smart choices, don't have sex. If you do, maybe, obviously, wear a condom. Sex education, they're kind of leaning towards that conversation. Be smart, you're 16, you have your whole world ahead of you, and do you know where you're going to? Feeling like you've got nowhere to go. I know you're feeling lonely. Who are you gonna turn to? Just like the world's closing in on you. Sweet 16, you need to cherish what you have. You can forget about the past. Now you can start all over. So these teenage girls are going through things, and they come from hardships, family troubles, and life struggles, what have you. But don't make rash decisions, be smart, and you're only 16, sweet 16. She fell in love with a man who was so fine. He made her promises. She didn't stop to think if he was serious until she had his baby. Sweet 16, slow down. You're moving way too fast. So lyrically, and just overall, I do think this is one of the strongest songs on the entire album thus far. Anyway, let's move on to track 16, Outro, Amazing Grace, dedicated to Andretta Tillman.
amazing grace. Let's say
Wow, that deserves applause. I mean, that says it all. I thought, yeah, I mean, the applause speaks for itself anyway. We have made it to the end of the album, track 17, Get on the Bus, featuring Timbaland.
Why your face looking all sad and blue? Would you like the navigator truck that I brought you? Why you trying to act a fool? You gotta remember, without you, there's no me.
I don't wanna fuss with you. Someone gonna sit out on the couch. Nothing you got to say. You should think twice. Get on the bus. Talking all day. I really care. Tell me it wasn't your fault, and why I ain't letting you in. And this won't go down tonight. Get your cat.
Introduce you to dose, take a ball in the bed, shoot from dirt bikes to Honda. Oh, to build up what I have of you. I pray to God, there's not another man between me and you.
Get on the bus. I ain't got no time. Talking all that. Get your cab. Get on the bus. I ain't got no time. 'Cause there's no more us.
That was track 17, Get on the Bus, featuring Timbaland, and I saw that this track had Timbaland featured on it, and I was excited to listen to it, but I was let down just a little bit. I mean, the chorus wasn't very memorable. I didn't really like the chorus, and I found it overall to be quite boring for a Timbaland song. I mean, I already forget what it sounds like. I also didn't find the lyrics to be that interesting, and I just thought it was okay, but I definitely would not listen to it again. But anyway, that was all 17 tracks of The Writings on the Wall by Destiny's Child, and this was a great pop R&B album. It's very cohesive and very consistent from track to track, from beginning to end. And there's a lot of meaning in the lyrics. It's very relatable too. A lot of female empowerment. I imagine this album was very impactful to young girls back in the 90s and early 2000s, even today. And a lot of just standing up for yourself and knowing your worth. And they tackle difficult subject matter like these relationships and cheating and sex and dealing with your boyfriend who doesn't love you and you don't feel respected, and dealing with how you might find yourself cheating on him because of the way he treated you. So then you might feel bad about that, but then you feel lonely and you want to talk to him and you want to be with him, but he treated you badly. And track 16, or I should say track 15, Sweet 16, tackles making the right decisions when you're a teenager and not jumping into things too quickly. And lyrically, this is a great album. I like the stories, very relatable, and I like the overall production too. And the singing also, I like Beyonce's vocals and the harmonies from all the girls. I feel like all the girls contributed more to this album when it comes to their vocals than they did on their prior album, their debut album from a year prior. I personally think all of these tracks are great. There are a couple tracks that are borderline filler just a little bit. Even though they fit in with the story of the album, they are a little boring to listen to. Some of these tracks are a little boring, but overall, there are a lot of catchy riffs and melodies and hooks. And overall, I did enjoy myself. I do think this is an improvement over the prior album. I still liked their prior album, but this one is a bit slicker, it's cleaner, it's shinier. You can tell it's a bit more produced, it's more pop sounding. So what did you guys think of this album, and what are your impressions? Maybe you have a special memory associated with this album. Maybe you were a teenager when this album came out and you bought it and you listened to it all the time. Share your memories with me. So in my next Destiny's Child video, we will move on to their third studio album from 2001 called Survivor. I'm so excited for this, you have no idea. and I'm very much looking forward to it. So thanks for watching, guys. You can find me on Twitter, you can find me on Instagram, you can message me, you can say, hey, how are you? And I will see you next time. Take care.